Hey everybody, Larry and Al. Here we are. Three is a treat. 53. Can't believe it. The numbers just keep climbing. Larry and Al, Search for Truth. Got Elijah here as usual as our tech guy. Appreciate it very much, all that he does. And we've had some good conversations here. So a little mix of this, a little mix of that, a little sports, but also just kind of social stuff. So what's your synopsis of what we've been talking about the last couple of episodes?
I think it's just you can't get excited about what's going on in the world. You just gotta stay in your lane. Don't cause no pain.
Right.
And it'll work itself out.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, you've always said that, and sometimes it's hard to accept that things are just. But funny things happen in the world. The things that you sometimes least expect. Expect the unexpected because that's what you're going to get.
The thing that with these protests, I mean, they're protesting all around the country.
Yeah, it ain't just L.A.
It's not L.A. But people are not happy. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the thing about it ain't black folks.
No, there's a lot of white people out there holding signs and having a word about things, and I don't know. It's almost like Nero playing a fiddle while Rome burns, and I don't know. But like I was saying, while we had the break here, the press conference that what's her name, Nome had, the Department of Homeland Security, and they handcuffed a senator because he was asking her some questions, and they bulldogged him out of the press conference.
They don't have answers. They don't have the answers for the questions that will benefit the people.
So what they want to do is just squash it. They don't want a discord. They don't want a dialogue. Is what I'm saying. They don't want
dialogue.
No.
They want.
There's no room for dialogue.
They want to shut you down.
Mm-hmm.
Or shut you down. Because they don't. It's so ironic. Comer was looking for the Biden crime family, and you got the biggest crook. You got the biggest crook in the White House, and he ain't saying nothing about them. He $400,000 airplane.
Well, it was earlier they had whoever that guy was talking on that press conference, thanking the FBI. But it wasn't that long ago. The FBI were the bad guys. The FBI is investigating me. So you can't have it both ways. The FBI is either good or bad, or they're indifferent.
Cash Patel. And then the other guy, the podcaster. Oh man,
who's that?
Dan I can't think of his name. He used to be a Secret Service guy, and he's complaining because it's too much work. I gotta go to work. My wife is unhappy because I'm at home.
I'm not home.
But see, what people don't understand, you're working for the government. You're working.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour, 7-day week deal.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right?
Yeah,
if you don't have time for golf, right?
Okay. And Christopher Wray, he was smart. He got his butt out of there.
Yeah.
Because he's a Republican. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like you said, enough people speak up. I don't know. I don't know what people's reaction would be when you take a U.S. senator and bulldog him to the ground and handcuff him.
Well, the thing that they do is they want to keep this Republican Democrat thing. The Democrats are the boogeyman. Okay, because they think. Okay, just think about what's going on. Is that we don't want yoke and all that kind of we don't want to be indoctrinated. But DeSantis is stealing money. Stole $10 million out there in Florida. Okay, all getting caught.
Right.
But what? You the guys that are stealing the money. No. You guys are the ones that are doing. I mean, and they want to pass that bill because the money that they're going to be saving that should be going to the people are going to be going to the billionaires. Okay, they all get toasty.
Yeah. But you think this too shall pass, huh?
Well, the midterms are coming up in 26,
Mm-hmm.
and
we're halfway there. So more than halfway there. More than halfway there.
And think about this: all the countries that have all the companies that have left the United States because of this tariff thing. The farmers he ain't taking care of the farmers. They took away their subsidies. Okay, and he broke FEMA up, and the people that had the tornadoes and stuff in Florida and stuff, they ain't getting no money.
So those are a lot of those are the people that voted.
There you go. And they said, "Well, let the state take care of you." Okay.
Except when the state does start to take care of you, then the feds want to step in and we're going to protect the feds. This is the federal government now.
Mm-hmm.
So the state government means nothing. But then at the same time, the state.
I'm in charge.
I'm large and I'm in charge.
And if it's not going the way he wants it to go, then he's gonna step in.
Well.
Okay. Because they didn't need no a guard or and they're not even paying the people. They're bivouacking on the floor.
Really?
They don't have no tents or nothing like that. And then come on.
So they're not giving them quarters or anything. Well, the thing too about the Marines, I mean, these are guys that are trained in combat. What do they know about civil unrest?
Killing. The only thing, believe me, when I was a Marine, the only thing I thought about was killing.
Killing, yeah.
Either you kill or be killed.
I mean, that by itself should raise some flags, I would think, in folks' minds, but I don't know.
He's playing footsie with the military, because he needs them to back. They need them to back him up. But when people start realizing, and think about that thing with the. He said he was going to end the war in Russia and Ukraine in one day. One day. Zelensky is see what's happening, and this is a rule in life. You don't go to nobody's house to kick their ass. And see, and Russia was going on 3 years of the war.
Oh God, at least 3, maybe 4, maybe 5.
And,
I don't know.
And Zelensky is fighting. He's fighting for freedom for his country.
Sovereignty.
Yes. Okay.
Well, these are Christian people, right? Well, all I can say is God is watching. God is watching then, and righteousness is not one thing. Righteousness is righteousness. It doesn't just fit your narrative.
If you profess to be a Christian, then the one thing that like I said, I don't talk about my religion that much.
Right.
But I go to church every Sunday, and each week I try to live the tenets of the Bible.
Right. That's your foundation.
That's my foundation.
I think that's all. As long as I've known you, I think that's always been your foundation. I mean, I know it has. And
you try to do the right thing by everybody.
Okay? Everybody counts. Right?
Everybody counts. If somebody needs help, then you help. If I'm able to help them, I help them.
Right. Well, that should be the mantra that people in general.
But Larry, think about this. When you're not a critical thinker, see, people say, "Well, what does college do for you?" Well, what college did for me, it taught me to be a critical thinker.
Right.
Okay? It taught me to think.
I think about who I was coming out of high school, where I was at, and my values and my outlook, and what I did coming out of my educational journey.
Yeah.
And the growth and the idea of seeing the world, like you said, being a critical thinker. And it's not to say that that's the only thing that will do it.
No, it's a part of the process.
It is part of the process.
And see, I had a chance to be in the military, and that enhanced my ability to think and to adjust to situations.
Well, how does it, like a veteran like you, and you served? Well, how do you feel about the way things are now, based from that perspective of being someone that had served in the military to defend this country, to be a part of the, protection of our country and our values as an American?
People do not realize how vulnerable we are right now because they're kicked out the people that have experience in diplomacy,
right,
in strategy in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the guys that are. What did the guy call him the other day? He's cosplaying, and he cosplaying. You know what that means?
Mm-hmm.
But you see those San Diego? They go down there with the super the hero suits on and
the Comic-Con thing.
Comic-Con,
yeah.
Comic-Con cosplaying. That's what he called it. That's what it is.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and he's playing like he's the head of the Department of Defense or whatever he's in charge of. But he is a full blown damn near Nazi. Okay, I mean you cannot. You can't. He doesn't want women.
No.
Or any
not strong women anyway.
Transgender or anything like that in the military. Every human being, able-bodied man, has a right to join the military. Right. Every able-bodied man, right, or woman, okay, to serve,
regardless of their background, regardless of their beliefs.
I enlisted. See. This is it. I enlisted. I wasn't drafted. I enlisted.
Mm-hmm. There's a difference, huh?
Oh, hell yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is that you take ownership of the situation.
Yeah.
You take ownership.
Yeah. Well, I would think if you make the decision to enlist, that you're doing it for the greater cause. Would you agree with that?
This is my thought. In order for me to live, in order for me to garner my rights in this country, even though things were bad,
right,
I had to put my life on the line.
Well, you being a black man, and I never forget what you're saying about your dad. Serving, an Olympian, and then coming back after the war and can't even get a cup of coffee.
Then he went to Korea.
Yeah, he served in Korea. Yeah, those are hard things to accept,
Mm-hmm.
and the reality, the truth of that, and
the best thing my dad ever did for me is he got me out of San Diego.
Mm-hmm. You said that before. Yeah.
He got me out of San Diego, and I got a chance to see the world and see how things go out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I fit in this grand scheme of things?
Right. Where do any of us fit in the grand scheme?
Yeah, but you got to move around.
Yeah.
You got to move around.
Right.
My daughters, the environment that they're in, they made the adjustment.
Well, you helped to prepare.
Well, and the one thing that the thing that is the reckoner in this whole situation is education.
Yeah, the equalizer, huh?
The equalizer. I mean, and people say, well, it's just like when I was working on OCDE, and not too many people knew my qualifications other than I had a teacher's credential. You see, but from my education and exposure enabled me to be able to do my job as an educator and as a counselor at a very high level.
See, that's the thing is like when you're evaluating someone like yourself for a position, let's say in the Orange County Department of Education, and they looked at your credentials, not just your education, your degree, your credential, but your life experiences. What a great enhancement and addition to the team, so to speak.
Yeah.
You bring that diversity that I don't think a lot at times, I'm sure you agree, was not priority for
Well, I was
right?
When I interviewed. They created a job for me. Okay, I interviewed and he said we can't let him go because he has so much experience plus education.
Right.
And with people, like I say, I'm thankful my daughters realized that education was what they needed to do. Because what education does, it cuts out you don't have this or you don't have that kind of thing. You qualify.
Right.
You qualify for the job, and then everything comes underneath the law. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you said it was your daughters always said it wasn't a matter if they were going to college, just where were they going to go to college? And all three of them, moved on with advanced degrees, and now they're highly professional and doing good work everywhere they go.
Yeah, again, they understand the system. They understand how to. The oldest one has her own business, been had it for 20 years, and she's doing what she wants to be able to do her way.
Yeah, and again, it was preparing her for it, laying that foundation, and getting, like you said, that exposure to the aspects of education that a lot of people they say the degree, that's what they want, but they don't. It's the process of getting that degree.
Well, but what it means is that you can critical think.
Yeah, so important.
Yes.
So important that you can see something and understand it much differently than somebody that doesn't have that ability or
right.
that skill. I guess it is a skill, and it's you're constantly tested. You have to begin to question your own beliefs. Say, hey.
Well, think about what we did. We were way ahead of the game because we thought outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
We thought outside the box. Mm-hmm. But the major thing that was that we had was that we were consistent, fair, and honest working with the kids. We took ourselves out of the equation.
Well, that's what we've talked about often.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a recipe for success. And I mean, how you measure success depends on, what markers you're using. But, you talked about the number of students that got high school diplomas and
think about the environment, the culture that we set up for those kids that weren't going to school. They came to school. We did the donuts. We did we made it so that it was convenient for them to be able to have something to eat.
Yeah.
And get started on the day. And we didn't. Our standards were so high that they were able to reach the standards. Okay, and push themselves.
Yeah, I think that's what we did.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we not to pat ourselves on the back or whatever. We just did our job the way we thought we were supposed to do it.
We were working with children, and we were showing them a path, to live, enrich their lives. Okay,
giving them opportunities.
Yes, and so they can be a part of society, but be capable of finding a job and earning earning quality money if they didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I've said it many times on our talks about, the families that you touch, not just the students, but the families were part of that, and how they would come back and after they had left, and thanking and also just acknowledging, the role you played in their lives, and that's I can't say a lot of teachers that we work with had that opportunity or that.
Well, the thing that when I sit down and think about it, you and I, our names are synonymous with quality education.
Yeah.
People knew that we weren't there just getting a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you, I know if you go into Mr. Steele's program, you're gonna be working.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't no ifs and ands and buts.
Well, it might sound kind of trite, but I think we allowed them to bring their heart and soul into the environment. And we
didn't stomp on nobody.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't stomp on nobody.
We didn't embarrass anybody. We didn't ridicule anybody.
Everybody had worth.
Yeah.
Everybody had worth. Okay.
And I think that's a recipe for anybody to have success. Not just.
Well, when I did my senior paper, my senior project was an enhancement of self-esteem in juvenile court school.
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you enhance that? And that's what I was always working on, because the thing that I didn't want to be doing was being badgering a kid to get it in. You got to do this. You got to do that. We set up the environment so that they make the choice that they want to do. You want an education? I'm going to give you the tools so that you can go through and get an education.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And again, when you think of the kind of students that we worked with, that was not something that they were necessarily getting anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. They're not coming from homes where their parents had degrees and they were professionals or whatever. No, we got the students that were whose families were hardworking, providing a living for themselves, and but it wasn't around some kind of an elitist position. It was humble.
Yeah.
And I think we tried to enhance that, or we tried to encourage that, humility, and it seems.
Well, when you're going through the process of educating, and it's no matter where you go, your high school, community college, you have to make the choice that this is what I want to do. You have to go to the library. You have to get your work in on time.
Mm-hmm. Those are tools that you need no matter what, past the classroom,
right,
into the real world, into the real life,
right. You got to be able to go. I remember when I first got out, and I was teaching up at Los Pinos. I was at Los Pinos and all this job. And I'm thinking, how do I start a classroom? What do I do in a classroom? I figured it out. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I liked what you said, though. Like you said, you did your was it your thesis or whatever about establishing self-esteem, and that was what you used as your foundation for all your
that and Covey.
Covey, yeah.
Yeah, and you remember when we took we got the credential in the alternative ed credential and that, mm-hmm. and the guy we talked about the history of it, alternative ed, mm-hmm. and those people were thinking outside the box a long time, way before we got to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's a matter of what is it that you as an educator, how much commitment do you have in educating the students,
the whole child.
And some people, looked at what we did you're only there 6 hours a day, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but what did you do for 6 hours? Okay. And that's the important thing, is that I don't think that I shortchanged anybody.
No, I don't think so at all. No.
Mm-hmm.
No. And it's something that you can have a real feeling of pride in, when it's all said and done. And something that, like I said, a real sense of accomplishment. And you can't argue with the successes that came from it. Like you said, the numbers of kids that got high school diplomas that made it.
High school diplomas, how many kids did we send back to the district and ROP and
we sent a lot of kids back, but those kids came back to us because they knew that this is really the environment that they best suited for. They tried, and we always kind of, that maybe was, I don't know if it was a goal for all of them, but there were those that wanted to get caught up or whatever and then go back and have that experience. And some of them went on and finished, and others, they came back and finished with us. So, but we always allowed that to happen. And what was best for the student, best for the child, the kid. So I think it was all good. But I think that's a good way to kind of wrap up number 53 here.
Okay.
And I think we've had a good talks. And until next time.
Well, the sun will come out in the morning.
The sun will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
The birds will be chirping and the flowers will be blooming.
Yeah.
So here we go. But anyway, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
You bet, brother.
And you enjoy your little summer and the kids and your travels and everything like that.
Yeah.
We'll be ready for you when you come back.
We'll be rolling back here soon.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Elijah, and thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. And so peace out.
Peace out.
And have a good life.
Take
care. Bye.
All right.
Those of you that are out there listening, subscribe to our page so that you can get the notifications of when we're going to record again.